Beet juice is more than just a colorful drink. It holds a unique position in senior health due to its natural ability to enhance blood flow to both the muscles and the brain. This effect is primarily attributed to its high content of dietary nitrates, which are converted into nitric oxide once inside the body. Nitric oxide helps dilate blood vessels, allowing blood to flow more freely. When blood vessels are relaxed and widened, oxygen and nutrients can travel more efficiently to the organs and muscles that need them most. For seniors, whose circulation may naturally decline with age, this becomes a practical way to support mobility, alertness, and energy, all without needing to turn to synthetic treatments. The significance of increased blood flow to muscles cannot be overstated, especially for those over 60. Muscles that receive more oxygen perform better. They contract with more power, recover faster, and experience less fatigue. Many older adults struggle with walking upstairs, standing from a seated position, or simply going on walks because of muscle fatigue or weakness. This isn't always due to a lack of exercise. It's often about how efficiently the muscles are being fueled. Drinking beet juice can help close that gap by ensuring oxygen reaches these muscles more effectively. The result? Legs that feel more reliable, movements that feel steadier, and a general sense of strength that encourages continued activity. Just as important is the effect beet juice has on the brain. The brain is a highly oxygen-demanding organ. Even minor drops in blood flow over time can contribute to forgetfulness, mental fog, or slower thinking. For seniors trying to stay mentally sharp and independent, this can become a daily frustration. The nitrates in beet juice promote better cerebral blood flow, particularly to the frontal lobe region tied to decision-making, attention, and memory. Studies show that when older adults consume beet juice, they experience improved cognitive function and more efficient brain activity during problem-solving tasks. This makes beet juice not just a physical aid, but a cognitive ally as well. Importantly, this process begins quickly. Within hours of drinking beet juice, nitric oxide levels in the blood begin to rise. Seniors may notice a boost in energy or mental clarity in the same day. While long-term use brings more sustainable results, the immediate nature of this effect helps people feel encouraged to keep going. That's critical. Sustained habits are often formed when the benefits are felt, not just promised. And with something as simple as a small glass of juice, this becomes an easy, manageable habit to incorporate. It's worth noting that this isn't about replacing medications or overhauling an entire lifestyle. This is about one small, consistent addition that supports natural processes already in the body. For those dealing with mobility concerns, muscle fatigue, or mental sluggishness, it can feel like a lifeline. More importantly, it gives back a sense of agency and internal message that says, there's still something I can do. That's powerful, especially at a time in life when many health changes feel out of one's control. This increased blood flow, however, isn't just about immediate performance. Over time, it helps with endurance and recovery, which are often overlooked aspects of senior health. Seniors who drink beet juice regularly may find they can walk a little farther without needing to rest, or feel less sore after gardening or stretching. These moments build confidence. They stack up into a lifestyle of greater independence. What started as one cup of juice becomes the reason someone says yes to a walk, chooses to take the stairs, or stays mentally sharp during a conversation with their grandchildren. Let's be clear, this is not about miraculous transformations. It's about enhancing what's already there, supporting the body's ability to function with more grace and less strain. Beet juice isn't a cure, but it's a tool. And when the goal is to maintain dignity, freedom, and vitality, even one tool can make all the difference. Especially when it's something as natural, accessible, and research-backed as this. Now that you understand how beet juice can improve blood flow to both your muscles and brain, you may be wondering what other changes could this trigger if you made it a regular part of your morning routine. You said, beet juice plays a pivotal role in regulating blood pressure, especially in seniors. And understanding this function requires no guesswork. It's rooted in well-documented biology. The key lies in the nitrates naturally found in beets. When consumed, these nitrates are converted by the body into nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes and widens blood vessels. This simple shift in blood vessel function makes it easier for the heart to pump blood throughout the body. As resistance in the arteries decreases, blood pressure drops. For seniors managing age-related blood pressure concerns, this mechanism offers a natural and non-invasive way to support cardiovascular health. The relationship between aging and elevated blood pressure isn't random. As we age, our arteries tend to stiffen, reducing their ability to expand and contract. This stiffness increases the pressure inside those vessels, putting more strain on the heart and other organs. High blood pressure, if unmanaged, becomes a silent threat that can quietly affect the kidneys, brain, and eyes over time. For seniors, it's not just about numbers on a monitor, it's about long-term quality of life. Beet juice enters this picture as a practical science-backed solution that assists the body in reversing some of this vascular stiffness. The impact of beet juice on blood pressure has been the subject of multiple clinical trials. In some studies, participants who drank beet juice daily saw significant reductions in both systolic and diastolic blood pressure within a few hours of consumption. These aren't minor drops either. Some results showed decreases as much as 5 to 10 mmHg. While those numbers may seem small, they can dramatically reduce the risk of stroke or heart attack when sustained over time. The fact that this comes from a food source and not a pill makes it especially meaningful for seniors looking for gentle yet effective health strategies. But what makes this benefit so practical is how quickly it kicks in. Unlike certain lifestyle changes that take weeks or months to produce results, the blood pressure lowering effects of beet juice can begin within just a few hours of drinking a single cup. For seniors who may be frustrated by slow changes or skeptical about whether a habit is helping, this kind of immediate feedback builds motivation. When someone feels their body responding positively, they're more likely to stay committed and more open to building other healthy habits alongside it. Of course, no one is suggesting that beet juice replaces medication. That's not the point. Instead, it complements existing treatments by supporting the body's natural rhythm and vascular function. Think of it as nutritional support that aligns with how the body already wants to work. For seniors trying to manage multiple medications or avoid unwanted side effects, adding beet juice can offer a sense of control, a choice that enhances well-being without complicating their regimen. This is also about daily simplicity. A glass of beet juice in the morning isn't difficult to prepare or consume. It's not expensive or hard to find, and it doesn't require strict scheduling or professional guidance. This makes it highly accessible to most seniors, regardless of mobility or income level. That's important, because health habits only work when they're easy to repeat. With beet juice, consistency becomes effortless. There's also a deeper psychological shift at play. Lowering blood pressure doesn't just help physically, it also reduces the mental burden many seniors carry. Constantly worrying about heart health, stroke risk, or dizziness can weigh heavily on a person's day-to-day outlook. By bringing blood pressure into a more stable range, beet juice doesn't just quiet the arteries, it helps quiet the mind. That feeling of stability ripples outward into other areas of life, from sleep quality to energy levels to emotional resilience. When blood pressure is better managed, seniors often report sleeping more soundly, experiencing fewer headaches, and feeling more alert throughout the day. These aren't isolated benefits, they're part of a wider web of health improvements that begin with something as simple as a single drink. And the best part? The body responds naturally, without needing to be forced. It simply returns to a more balanced state, using what nature has provided. So as we stay focused on this topic, it's clear that the connection between beet juice and blood pressure isn't hype, it's physiology. It's science meeting simplicity. And it's an opportunity for seniors to take a small step that supports one of their most vital systems. What happens next when that system is stable? What other areas of the body begin to improve when blood flows smoothly and pressure is steady? That's where the story starts to unfold. Let's talk strictly about the topic. Only discuss what it means, no unnecessary points. The key discussion should stay focused on the subject, and in such a way that it leaves me eager for the next page. Beet juice enhances blood flow and oxygen delivery, and this matters deeply, especially for seniors. As we age, our circulatory efficiency tends to decline. The heart may not pump as forcefully, arteries may stiffen, and the ability to transport oxygen throughout the body, particularly to muscles and the brain, diminishes. This isn't just a background process. It shows up in the form of fatigue, slower recovery after activity, mental fog, and a general sense of reduced vitality. That's where beet juice steps in, not as a cure-all, but as a highly effective support system, and it starts with nitrates. When a senior drinks beet juice, their body converts the natural nitrates in the juice into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a gas molecule that helps blood vessels relax and widen. Wider blood vessels allow for better circulation, and better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients can reach the muscles and organs that need them. This has a direct impact. Muscles don't tire as quickly. The brain stays more alert. Walking feels less labored. Everyday movement becomes easier, not harder. It's especially relevant in older adults who may not engage in high-intensity workouts but still want to maintain their independence, stability, and mobility. With improved oxygen delivery to muscles, even light physical activities like walking, gardening, climbing stairs, or stretching become more manageable. The feedback loop here is powerful. Better blood flow supports better movement, and better movement leads to more confidence and autonomy in daily life. The connection between beet juice and enhanced exercise performance has been studied in both young athletes and older adults. In several clinical trials, older participants who consumed beet juice before walking or cycling experienced less exertion and greater endurance. Their muscles quite literally performed better because they were being fueled more effectively. For seniors, that could mean walking farther without needing to rest, or feeling stronger on the way up a flight of stairs. These are small wins that translate into significant improvements in quality of life. But this isn't just about the legs or heart. Improved blood flow also reaches the brain. The brain consumes about 20% of the body's oxygen, even though it only weighs a fraction of total body mass. When blood flow is compromised, so is cognitive clarity. With enhanced circulation comes better focus, sharper memory recall, and reduced mental fatigue. These changes might seem subtle at first, but they matter immensely in day-to-day decision-making, conversation, and emotional balance. In fact, some research suggests that beet juice may help improve cerebral blood flow in regions of the brain associated with executive functioning areas that tend to show early signs of decline in older adults. While beet juice isn't a treatment for cognitive disorders, its ability to naturally support healthy brain circulation offers a compelling reason to make it a regular habit. It becomes one of those rare, simple choices that supports both body and mind at once. The beauty of this approach lies in how gentle yet powerful it is. There's no drastic shift in routine required. A single glass of beet juice in the morning is enough to activate the nitrate to nitric oxide pathway. The effects begin to manifest within hours and continue throughout the day, especially when consumed consistently. And unlike many interventions, it works in harmony with the body, boosting what's already there rather than overriding natural processes. We must also consider the compounding effect. Over time, better blood flow leads to more movement. More movement leads to stronger muscles. Stronger muscles reduce the risk of falls. Fewer falls mean more years of independent living. Every small gain builds into something larger, all from a daily nutritional habit that fits effortlessly into a senior's lifestyle. This isn't a theoretical discussion, it's a practical roadmap for improving circulation and oxygen delivery, one cup at a time. The science is clear, the results are trackable, and the benefits touch nearly every system in the aging body. Which leads to the next question: if improved blood flow can offer this much through just one simple change, what happens when that same habit starts to enhance muscle recovery, nerve health, and stamina? Let's turn the page and find out. Let's talk strictly about the topic. Only discuss what it means, no unnecessary points. The key discussion should stay focused on the subject, and in such a way that it leaves me eager for the next page. One critical but often overlooked impact of beet juice for seniors is its natural anti-inflammatory effect. This matters because inflammation, especially chronic low-grade inflammation, is a key driver behind many of the most common age-related health challenges. We're not talking about the visible, short-term kind of inflammation that happens when you scrape your knee or twist your ankle. This is the invisible, ongoing type, smoldering quietly in the background, affecting tissues, joints, blood vessels, and organs without obvious symptoms until it leads to fatigue, stiffness, or disease. For seniors, inflammation becomes particularly problematic because it contributes to the degeneration of joint cartilage, the weakening of muscles, and even the deterioration of cognitive health. Inflammation doesn't just cause discomfort, it slows healing, reduces mobility, and limits the body's ability to repair itself. And as the body ages, the ability to regulate and shut off inflammation becomes less efficient. That's why it's so important to find safe, natural, and sustainable ways to help the body calm that internal fire. Beet juice happens to be one of those tools. Beets contain powerful plant compounds, known as betalains. These compounds have been shown to have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. When consumed regularly, they work within the body to help neutralize oxidative stress, a common trigger for inflammation. Oxidative stress occurs when there's an imbalance between free radicals molecules that damage cells and antioxidants, which protect them. In older adults, this imbalance is more likely due to years of exposure to environmental stressors, diet, lifestyle habits, and natural metabolic processes. Beet juice steps in to tip that balance back toward healing. Betalains in beet juice have been observed in laboratory settings to inhibit specific signaling pathways in the body that promote inflammation. What this means practically is that when seniors drink beet juice, they're not just quenching thirst or enjoying a nutritional beverage, they're actively supporting the body's internal regulation of inflammation in a way that's both gentle and effective. And they're doing it without introducing artificial chemicals or medications that might carry side effects. This becomes especially relevant for seniors dealing with joint discomfort, stiffness in the morning, or swelling after walking or physical activity. While beet juice doesn't replace medical treatments, it complements them by working from the inside out. The more inflammation is controlled, the more fluid and confident movement becomes. Less joint discomfort means more motivation to stay active, and more movement keeps joints healthier in the long term. It's a positive cycle fueled by a small, daily commitment. In addition to joint health, chronic inflammation also affects the heart and brain. Inflammation in the blood vessels can lead to hardening of the arteries, increasing the risk of high blood pressure, stroke, or heart disease. In the brain, inflammation is increasingly linked to neurodegenerative conditions and memory loss, supporting the body's natural inflammation response system, without relying on constant use of painkillers or anti-inflammatories, is not only safer, but more sustainable. Beet juice offers that kind of subtle, long-term support. There's Also, the mental and emotional benefit of knowing that something as simple and accessible as beet juice is working in your favor. Seniors often face the frustrating reality that so many health issues feel out of their control, but making the choice to add a natural anti-inflammatory to your morning routine is a way of taking back some of that control. It's empowering. It reinforces the idea that health doesn't always have to come from a prescription bottle. Sometimes it comes from a glass of deep red juice filled with plant-based compounds that have been quietly protecting the body all along. The real power in this lies not in the drama of a miracle cure, but in the quiet consistency of a daily action that builds over time. That's how inflammation is managed patiently, gently, from the inside. And when inflammation is managed well, the body feels lighter, movements become easier, energy is restored, and the mind feels clearer. All of it starts with a simple decision to drink what your body naturally understands and appreciates. Now that we understand how beet juice reduces inflammation and supports more pain-free movement, it leads us to a deeper question: can the same simple drink also support the health of our nerves, which are so vital for coordination and mobility? That's where the story goes next. Let's keep going. Let's talk strictly about the topic, only discuss what it means, no unnecessary points. The key discussion should stay focused on the subject, and in such a way that it leaves me eager for the next page. Beet juice's effect on blood circulation is not just a side benefit, it's one of its most powerful and essential functions, especially for seniors. As the body ages, the efficiency of the circulatory system naturally begins to decline. The heart may have to work harder to pump blood, the vessels may stiffen, and oxygen delivery to muscles and tissues may become slower. This reduced circulation can lead to cold hands and feet, slow healing, muscle fatigue, dizziness when standing up, and even impaired brain function. That's where beet juice steps in with a specific mechanism that speaks directly to this decline: nitric oxide production. Beets are high in natural nitrates, not to be confused with the artificial nitrates found in processed meats. When consumed, these nitrates are converted into nitric oxide by the body. Nitric oxide is a gas that plays a crucial role in expanding blood vessels, improving their flexibility, and enhancing blood flow. In simpler terms, it acts like a natural relaxer for your arteries, allowing blood to flow more freely and efficiently. For a senior, this means several things. First, improved blood flow ensures that oxygen and nutrients reach vital areas of the body more effectively, especially the legs, which often suffer from poor circulation in older age. That's why beet juice is often linked with better leg strength, faster walking speed, and improved balance. When muscles receive more oxygen, they perform better. They tire less quickly, they recover more effectively. This is not about creating a bodybuilder's frame. It's about supporting basic strength needed for daily movements like climbing stairs, getting out of a chair, or going for a walk without pain or exhaustion. Second, better circulation protects the brain. The brain is extremely sensitive to oxygen delivery. Even a slight reduction in blood flow can impair cognitive performance. For seniors, this could show up as slower thinking, forgetfulness, or brain fog. But when beet juice improves nitric oxide levels and circulation improves, more oxygen gets to the brain. This supports clearer thinking, sharper memory, and even mood stability. The mind feels more alive when the blood is moving as it should. This same mechanism also supports heart health. When blood vessels are more relaxed and flexible, blood pressure tends to normalize. Seniors who drink beet juice regularly often see small but meaningful reductions in blood pressure readings, which lowers strain on the heart and reduces the risk of stroke or heart failure over time. Unlike medications that may come with side effects, this effect comes from a natural source, working in harmony with the body's own chemistry. There's also a mobility factor at play. Many seniors experience what's called intermittent claudication cramping in the legs during walking. Caused by poor blood flow, it discourages activity and contributes to the cycle of immobility and muscle weakness. Beet juice, by enhancing nitric oxide and improving blood supply to leg muscles, can help reduce that cramping and allow for longer, more comfortable periods of walking. That means more independence, more confidence, and a stronger sense of control over one's body. The power of this process lies in its simplicity. You're not adding a new supplement, pill, or therapy. You're drinking a naturally occurring juice that tells your blood vessels to open up, breathe a little, and deliver the life-giving oxygen your tissues are starving for. And the effect isn't theoretical. It can often be felt: legs that feel lighter, a brain that feels sharper, energy that lasts longer throughout the day. These are not dramatic overnight changes, but steady, noticeable shifts that accumulate with consistency. For seniors, there's comfort in knowing that such a foundational part of health circulation isn't beyond your control. You can support it, nurture it, and improve it with something as simple as a glass of beet juice. And once that blood starts flowing better, it doesn't just reach the muscles, it feeds the nerves too. Which brings us to the next vital link: the connection between improved blood flow and nerve protection. Let's turn the page.